Hi, welcome in. It's Shaped by Kate. Today we're going to shape up our spine with lots of heart openers today. So just to start, you're going to be in just a comfortable seated position. If you have props, you can have props by your side. And we're just going to start with our hands at heart center and either gently close the eyes or just let the gaze drift off the nose. Take a single breath in and out, just to settle into your practice. Today's theme, since we are focusing on opening up our heart, is focusing on the yoga theme of service. So sometimes I invite people to maybe dedicate this practice to someone else. If you're kind of struggling to do that, especially in a yoga practice, you can sort of take this moment to thank your mind and body for always supporting you throughout the day. And just take this moment to not really expect anything in return. Just like when you give service to others, you're not expecting anything in return. Beautiful. With that in mind, let's start our movement. So go ahead and let the palms fall onto the knees. Let's exhale, find rounded shoulders, find our seated cat pose. Really let the weight hang heavy on your arms so that you can almost pull your shoulders forward. And then inhale, lift the chest, open up the heart. Maybe even lift the chin. Good. Exhale, come back down. Then just at your own pace, find these two movements. Beautiful. Come up to an upright position. Take an inhale to exhale to get here. And then take your time, kick your legs behind. Make your way to our first downward facing dog. So this is our neutral spine position. A nice flat back. Heels are pressing down. If you ever need a break from our heart openers, you can always come back to this pose. Beautiful. Inhale, walk up to the top of your mat. Find a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to your mountain pose. First mountain pose, really ground down in the feet. And then we're going to take a swan dive. So I want you to inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. With our swan dive, you pass through half lift, back to forward fold. Inhale, flatten out that back again. Plant your hands, step into our first plank pose, either on your feet or your knees. Take a breath, feel that lift from the spine. Shift forward, exhale, lower down, inhale, cobra pose, with or without your hands. If you tend to put pressure on your lower spine, maybe take your hands away. Good. Exhale, plant the hands, curl toes under. If you're doing a plank on your feet, flex the quads and lift your knees, tuck elbows in, press into plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Maybe open the hip for an inhale to exhale. Inhale again, close the hip, bring left leg forward, rise, high crescent lunge. Inhale to exhale, find a twist. First twist, so if this is a lot, maybe bring both hands to the body, especially if that hip likes to hike towards your rib cage, draw it down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, find warrior one. Set that back heel down. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, drive elbows into your cactus arms position. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades together. That's kind of your cue to find your back bend in the upper spine, then the rest of the spine follows. So squeeze shoulder blades together. Then maybe reach your arms back, find airplane arms. Option to stay here. If you want to find clasp hands, go ahead and clasp hands together, open up the chest. Inhale, puff up your chest forward. Exhale, find your humble stance. Especially since our theme is service, that really takes a humble heart to not expect anything in return. Let that head hang heavy. Inhale to exhale, rise. Release the hands. Inhale, lift the arms and the back heel. Find high crescent lunge. First balance pose, so it's okay if it's a little sloppy. Sweep those arms forward. Use your momentum to lift back hands and right leg, warrior three. Use the exhale breath to draw the right hip down. Inhale to find a little lift in the body. Next, inhale, rise up into a single leg mountain pose. Bring your right knee into your belly. Inhale to reach. Exhale, whoops. It's okay if you fall over here. Exhale, set your foot down. Find a swan dive, find a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back into that plank. Let's find that flow other side. So find an inhale to exhale, little lift and plank. Next, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, this time in your cobra. Keep your hands on the floor. Maybe find a higher cobra. Exhale, find neutral spine. Press into plank. This time we'll show pressing into a modified plank. And then back to down dog. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Open up your hip. After that round of breath, close the hip. Bring right leg just behind your hands. Find a high crescent lunge. Inhale to exhale, find your twist. And again, if you don't like the arms extended, draw them forward. Especially if you're like me, my hips like to sway from left to right. So I'm using that right hand to draw the right hip away from my rib cage. Inhale, twist back to center. Set the back heel down, lift the arms, warrior one. This time, since you know where you're going, you can find your own pace through cactus arms to airplane arms to maybe clasp hands to your humble warrior. Once you find that humble warrior, really let that head bow forward. Maybe close your eyes. Take your most humble stance. Inhale to exhale, rise. Lift the back heel, lift the hands, find your high crescent lunge. First balance pose on the right leg now. Use your momentum. Sweep it down and back, find a warrior three. Inhale, reach the hands and left knee up to the sky. Find a single leg mountain pose. Good, exhale, drop it down. Okay, let's find another swan dive. Inhale, upward salute, exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step into plank. This time we're switching up our flow. From plank, flip to the tops of the feet. Open up the biceps, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Slight bend in the elbows, find your upward facing dog. If you tend to put pressure on your lower spine, set your knees down. Exhale, lower to the earth. Inhale, find Sphinx. Slide your forearms forward. We're going to find our quad stretch. So shift your weight to your right forearm and right leg. And we're going to reach for our left foot, so bend your knee. It's okay if that's a lot for your back bend. You're just going to set your forehead down. Squeeze the heel towards your glute. Find a quad stretch. You can also reach your arm forward if that feels nice. I want you squeezing that heel towards your glute. Foot presses back and knee tries to press towards the back of your mat, so you almost feel a little lift. You can also do this standing. This kind of takes away the balance, so it's a bit more restorative. Exhale, release. Bring those forearms back to your Sphinx. Shift weight now to the left side. Reach back for the right foot. Bend your knee in order to reach. Slide down, set forehead to the earth. Squeeze the heel towards your glute. Maybe even point the toe. Press the foot back. Press the knee towards the back of your mat. You might feel a tiny lift. Good. Exhale. Release. Plant your palms, curl toes under. Tuck the elbows in. Inhale to exhale, plank to downward facing dog. Good. Little breather here in that neutral spine. Good. Then let's set the knees down. Keep them hip width distance apart and toes curled under. Walk your hands forward. Open up the heart. Find puppy pose. Gaze is either at your elbows or towards your thumbs. Tailbone is lifting to the sky. Good. Then keep this heart open shape. You're going to bring more weight to your forearms, so it's going to force your shoulders up. And then you're going to just shoot your chest and belly forward, uncurl the toes, and try to lift high in Sphinx so that you can bring your shoulders over your elbows. If your back's not quite warm enough, you can crawl your arms forward. Just remember which direction you go, because we'll come back here. Good. Curl the toes under, and you're going to lift from the tailbone. Keep that open heart. Find puppy pose. So I scooted my elbows forward, so I'm going to scoot them back again. Find puppy pose. So if I didn't want to scoot my arms back and forth, I'll keep my forearms where they're at. Find Sphinx. Press back to puppy. Good. Move back and forth between these two poses at your own pace. Let's find puppy pose one more time and land in Sphinx. Exhale. Bring the palms back next to the chest, curl toes under. Press into plank. Come to your downward facing dog. Look towards the top of your mat. Step or hop, half lift. And then we're going to do a reverse swan dive. So sweep your arms down, up. Exhale, drop it down. Good. Now we'll find our Lord of the Dance pose. We'll just do one after the other. So if you want to find maybe your favorite side or more dominant side, start on that side. If you're following me, I'm going to shift to my left foot and catch hold with my right hand to my right leg. Connect my index finger and thumb, other fingers extended. I'm going to come to the middle of my mat. Exhale, hinge at the waist. Look forward just at the line of your fingertips. Inhale, start with the chest and the shoulders squeezing together. Inhale to feel lift from your toes and your fingers. Eight to 12 breaths. If you need breaks, you can come back to standing and then go into that flow again. Exhale, release. If you want to maybe switch up your hand position, I cued grabbing onto the outer edge of your foot. You can grab on the inner edge, and that will open up your bicep a little bit more. Hinge at the waist on your exhale. Inhale to open. Release back down when you're ready. Slightly tuck that tailbone under to find a pretty neutral spine. Sway the hips side to side. And then let's switch to the other side. So bring that weight to that right foot. Now, if you couldn't quite see me on that side, you can see a little bit better as I catch hold of my left foot. My thumb is pointing down towards the ground. If connecting your index finger and thumb is too distracting, you can just reach hands forward. Exhale, hinge at the waist. Inhale to lift from the heart. Another option too, if I had a wall in front of me, is to press my front hand on a wall. That sort of helps with balance. Also kind of helps open up that shoulder and chest a little bit more. So sort of a different variation and option. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Maybe you press that foot back into your hand a little bit more. Then if you wanted to, you can switch that hand position to open up your bicep. Exhale to hinge at the waist. Set your pelvis on top of your femur bone. Inhale to lift. Take your time if you're still in that pose. If you're already out of that pose, let's find our half lift. Set your hands on your shins or on the floor. And if you tend to have a really flexible back or you tend to throw out your back a lot, maybe just stay in half lift. If you don't have that problem, you can find a forward fold. And then let's plant the hands, step into plank. Inhale here, exhale here. Flip to the tops of your feet, find your upward facing dog. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, reach back, find your locust pose. Or optional, you can find almost your double-legged dancer pose, or in yoga we call this bow pose. Catch hold of both feet. Press them into your hands, pulling your shoulder blades together and lifting the thighs off the ground. If you can't reach, you can sort of feel that thigh stretch already while reaching back and hugging the heels to your glutes. Exhale, release. Find neutral spine, press into plank. Find downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels high, from downward facing dog. Let's bring the feet really close together. Lift the heels. And then you're going to drop them to the right. So you're going to land on the right edge of your foot like you're in a right side plank. And then inhale, ripple that spine forward. Lift the chin, lift the gaze. You're going to find a twisted upward facing dog. So right hip presses into your imaginary earth. You're on the right top of your foot. And then two options. You can either come back the way you came in, or you can just roll to upward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Wherever you're at, come to the ground. Inhale, find locust or bow pose. Exhale, release. Curl toes under, press through plank to downward facing dog. Let's find the other side. Bring the feet close together. Lift the heels. Drop them over to the left. So you're on the left edge of your foot. Ripple that spine forward, coming to the top of your left foot, finding a twisted upward facing dog. So last time I just rolled to a normal upward facing dog. This time I'll show me just coming back to down dog through plank, lowering down. Inhale, find locust pose. This time if you wanted to catch the inner edges of your feet, open up your chest. Maybe you find that variation. If you're not feeling that quad stretch, either press your feet into your hands a little bit more, or maybe you're just a little bit more flexible in the hips and quads. Good. Exhale. Release. Set your your palms in front of your forehead. Set your forehead down. You're done with your back bends. Maybe lift the shins off the ground and sway the feet from left to right. Good. Find stillness. Drop your feet down. Bring your palms next to your chest. Any way you'd like. We're just going to press back into a child's pose. Again, if that's really tender for your back from going from back bend to a forward fold, you can also just rest in a hero pose. Totally up to you. Take your time. You can have any formation with that child's pose. We did a lot with our shoulders and wrist, so I personally like to bring my hands back, mount my whole back hand, forearms and forehead into the mat, and that's going to leave a lot of space for my shoulders to sag down towards my face. Now taking this moment to just give your heart a nice little hug, especially for all the service that you do, for all the service that your body gives you. Taking this moment again to not expect anything in return from your body, just for this yoga practice. Inhale, roll up to a hero position. If it's comfortable in hero pose, stay here. If not, make your way to an easy pose. And just like we started our practice, let's bring those hands to heart center. No pressure against the fingertips or the palms. Just very gently bringing those thumbs to your sternum. Take this moment to thank your heart for being open today. And then taking that bow forward as respect to your yoga practice. Namaste.